All right, everybody, here we go. We're back. It's Sunday Sketchin' 2 weeks in a row. Imagine that. Imagine that. 2 weeks in a row. What's up, Albert? Albert is already hanging out with us. Welcome to everybody watching us on Facebook, watching us on YouTube. We are on 3 different channels right now. We are on my feed, of course, Comic Unity. And if you're over on YouTube, watching there for some reason, because I don't even promote that we're on YouTube, but we're on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody is welcome to join the conversation as we chit chat with the artists tonight. We have Mr. Ryan Kincaid joining us. Oh, let me get this banner out of the way.
I was like, I just see banner.
It's going to be hard to see the art with that sitting there. There we go.
There I am.
Boom. Boom.
There I am.
Already well underway.
I just started.
And well underway. I mean,
giving
you a compliment here.
Okay. Albert, I've seen you like 5 times today.
Is that right? Was you over on your live shows?
No, I did a live show. The girls did a live sale, and then I was on Whatnot for like an hour.
Okay. Ye old Whatnot. Yep. Got it. We've got April chilling with us.
Howdy.
She's already got the tape on this piece. Already taped. I feel like excitement is coming.
Oh, perhaps. I haven't really thought about it much, but I'm working with a bigger piece of paper than normal.
Oh, all right. Expanding our boundaries. I like it. It's good. Marissa Pope decided to ditch us tonight. She's out hanging out with the people at Swornfest. So we got
what a turd.
We got someone to take her place. Mr. CB Zane is chilling out with us tonight.
I apologize for not having my nails done.
I know, right?
It's okay. I like your nails better.
Yeah.
You just get a Sharpie and welcome to the dark side.
Less distracting than yellow and blue and purple and green and sparkly nails.
Joseph and the Technicolored nails.
That's right. And then tonight, guys, you're going to watch all of these folks draw a little character from the heyday of comics. We'll call it the heyday of comics, the 90s bad girl era. This is all about Nira X tonight, folks.
What have you done to poor Chewie tonight?
And we, of course, have Mr. Bill Mouse chilling with us.
How's it going, guys?
Excellent, man. Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So is that the art for the cover that we're looking at?
It's one of the variant covers that we have, and it's actually since 90s is kind of our theme. This is an homage to a Cyberforce cover, a Silvestri cover.
Sure.
Nice.
So that's I did this. This is just the pencil. I actually sent it off to get inked by Mikey Babinski.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know he's inked for like Scarlet Spider, She-Hulk. He's done like a lot of like just Marvel / DC stuff. So he's a good friend of mine. So it was really good to have him working on something with us. And then my daughter Cat Mouse, she provided the colors. So she's actually celebrating 10 years in the industry. So I have a child that's older than me now. I was pretty sure.
Excellent. Excellent. And of course, you can see some of the colors there.
There you go.
Piece. We use that in our promo. So yeah. So basically, I mean, let's Ryan and CB and April are less familiar with you than I am. So let's get the Bill Mouse story. And who are you? Where'd you come from? Where'd you learn to do them groovy lines? And how did Nira X come about back in the day?
I was a wee bit child, and that's too far back, right? That's no, I got my start. I got my start early '90s. Go figure, it's a '90s theme. I got my first gig for Eclipse Comics, drawing a parody for them called X Farce.
I remember that.
I remember that.
And it sold really well. It did good. It was like I think 70,000 copies, something along that neighborhood. So I did 2 more parodies for them, and I met Don Chin, happened to be the writer for that first issue, that I did for them, and he was one of the founding members of Parody Press, and he got a hold of me and said we'd like to do some more parodies, and I ended up doing parodies for him for the next 8 years, and we started a studio in Virginia Beach. We both moved East Coast, and after we had done parodies for a while, I really wanted to do to have an imprint that was just superhero and sci-fi and adventure stuff. And luck would have it that we met Steve Stern and Dan Cody. They owned the license for Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Right. So, and that ended up being our debut superhero book, superhero science fiction title and we started an imprint called Entity Comics, and we did that for forever. So it's like so that was, and then luckily for me, Steve was super cool about allowing me to put my own characters into the book, and I was writing the series at the time, so he was allowing me to do that. So that was actually Nira's first appearance, was in the back of Zen number 0. And that brings us to today. She was popular enough with the readers that I had back then that she spun off into her own series, and then,
well, multiple series. I mean, there was at least 4 or so volumes, different miniseries for her.
Yeah, and different publishers. We did Nira for Entity Comics for at least 4 different series. And then I published under Avatar Press for a while, and we did quite a few books for them, and back and forth, crossovers with Zen. It's like I still work with a lot of the same guys. Like I've known these guys for 30 years, so it's cool. I'm actually working on new Zen stuff right now as we speak for hopefully the summertime.
And so
that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So and now, but Nira is your creation. She's your thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what is your connection to Committed Comics as far as the publishing aspect? Is that you, or did you just get hooked up with these guys?
I got hooked up with these guys. These guys,
guys.
Thomas Dougherty and his good friend Alex. I met them at San Diego one year, and Nira was maybe a couple years out from having her 25th anniversary. So, we're just making small talk at the table. We're in Artist Alley, and he's sharing Cheetos with me. So we basically did this whole deal over a bag of Cheetos, where it's like, I'd really like to do something with the 25th anniversary, blah, 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 because I really hadn't published her monthly in quite some time. And I learned through hardship that I need to freelance for everybody. So that's what I was doing at the time. So Tom kind of turns to me and he's just like, I publish books. I happen to do that thing that you're thinking of. So after some hardship and after some couple of bag of Cheetos and some conversations later, we started publishing together. So now we're on to, we first did an omnibus style book that kind of collects up Entity Comics, like the first 3 series and her first black and white appearance in Zen Comics, or the first black and white appearance in Entity Comics. It was a black and white book. We did that first, like a 300-page, like an issue 0, and kind of sandwiched it in with some new material, so that way it's kind of a jumping on point for new readers. And now we're on to issue 3 of Nira X Reborn, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, and that's on Kickstarter right now. Can the people, if they haven't gotten onto this yet, are they able to get 1 and 2 within that campaign as well?
Yeah, that's actually a good question, because they can. They're able to still get issues 1 and 2 as part of a set. The set itself might be sold out because he only allotted a certain number of number 2s from the first printing. Mm-hmm. But there is a way through the Kickstarter to get all 3 issues. Yes. Okay. Good. And if there's not an obvious way to do it, then you can contact Tom through the Kickstarter and be sure that he hooks that up. But yeah, that was very important that people were able to catch up and get those other issues.
And so is this it? Is this 3-issue miniseries and done? Or is there going to be a 4th?
There's going to be there's not going to be an issue 4, but there is going to be a new miniseries that comes out after this.
Okay.
We've already planned out themes and different story elements and things like that. But this 3rd issue wraps up this first story arc for Committed Comics. So this is the set. It goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and that'll be a complete set.
Excellent. And for those that aren't familiar with the character, what is Nira? What's the story? What she's about? What's give us the background.
All right, let me see if I can give you the boilerplate here. So
we got 2 hours. We don't need boilerplate. You can go as deep as you want to go.
That's cool. I'm visually I'm getting sidetracked a little bit because I'm enjoying watching.
Of course, yeah, no, it happens.
So that's super cool. Just watching.
Tom's just trying to give you a reason for us not to rag on him. It's okay.
Yeah, the longer you talk, the less they talk.
Oh, I see what's happening here. It's like,
Oh yeah.
This is a sketch op / we rag on each other op. The more you talk,
that's a good
the less
group.
we're allowed to rag on. So it's okay.
All right. Well, let me see if I can keep people out of trouble for at least a couple minutes. Then I'll tell you that Nira actually comes from a reality or a universe that doesn't exist anymore. She has a brother who's a brilliant scientist, and he ends up being the nemesis of this story. But he never really meant for that to happen. He was a brilliant scientist. And working for whatever their reality's military was, dealing with time travel and temporal physics and things like that. But the purpose of it was really, he was kind of developing what their universe's version of a warp drive would be, so that they could explore space and travel further. And the way that his temporal drive would work is it would slow down time around the ship instead of making the ship actually go faster. But his true intentions was he was simply afraid to die. He was a person that, and he had the means to try and do something about that. But his fear of dying led him to make this experiment that essentially allowed him to live out each of his lives throughout the multiverse one at a time. So he's sort of cheating death in a way that made sense to him, in a way that his technology worked. But unfortunately, he's not thinking that other versions of himself in those other universes are kind of doing the same thing. And some of those versions of himself are good, some of them are evil, some of them are the gray area in between. And what happens is an accident where thousands of versions of himself merged into one being. Instead of living out his lives one at a time, he basically merged into this one being. And of course, it's a 90s book, so it's going to have a cliche type of name to describe him. He's Paradox. That's his title. Yeah, so he becomes Paradox. He's this big chaotic person that just wants chaos. He just wants to see the world burn. And then there's good versions of himself that have been trying to make up for the damage ever since. So this is the world that Nira comes from. And the reason she gets her powers is because some of the versions of himself that are in this gray area, they sort of using her as a failsafe, as a way of kind of shutting him down if something had gone wrong. And that's where she is. She's sort of tethered to Paradox's signature. And when he pops up in a place where she can get to him, then she's ripped through time, and she has to deal with him. And that's the general gist of what makes, that's the machine that makes the book go. So right now we're catching up with Nira in this new place, in this new home, and she is figuring out where she's at. She's figuring out what the damage is, who her allies are, who are the people she can trust or not trust, and that's where we catch up to her right now.
And are you basically the sole writer, or did you create it and let other people write it for you, or what's?
No, I've been all by myself. I'm all by myself in a dark alley, thinking up this stuff. And I sort of write the character. I kind of wrote the character and I created the world, kind of leaning on some of the strengths that I have, because I usually, like, if I just feel like drawing something, I just like, wow, how do I fit this into the book, but in a plausible way that I can get away with, or how so time travel was a great way of, oh, well, you just started over, but you tend to write yourself into a corner using time travel too much. So I created her world in a way that it includes a lot of different eras and a lot of different, like you can have an old West town next to a Jurassic Park, next to something that's more advanced. But it's because
cool.
this world, the world that she's on, is a mismatch of all these different eras. It's essentially I would call it like not a gaming reserve, but not a zoo, but it's
An amusement park of
not quite an
National
amusement park.
Preserve.
Well, her brother has gathered this stuff like a sanctuary.
There you go.
yeah.
Because her brother is, or the good versions of her brother have been trying to make up for this damage for so long that at least if people have a chance to live a life at all, it's better than letting them just not exist. So his guilt is driving him, and of course the results are questionable, and her world is a patchwork of different things. But it also keeps me from time traveling too much. But at the same time, it feels like I've got time travel elements that are still at play, and that's where she's at.
That's
And
really
explaining
cool.
all of this while chasing a small Dotson around my studio is a challenge. In case you're wondering why I sound like I'm out of breath, I'm this close to putting him on the art table just so you can see that it's proof.
You're welcome. You're welcome to show him off if you need a moment to get. There
Here
he
he
is.
is, right here. There you go, buddy. So he's as soon as I started talking, he's like, "But what about me? Why am I not in the book?"
That's similar to Ryan's dogs. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sure we'll hear them soon. They're already pissed off at me.
It's a common theme.
At least you have an empty house this week, though, Ryan. Right?
Yeah. No more snow days. No more 9 kids hanging out. They're all back in their own enclosures.
Are you giving them their own story? Like, I've gotta walk to school up a hill.
Both
Ryan
ways
doesn't walk
through the snow.
He sits at home and draws. There's no walking for Ryan.
What?
No,
What
for
the
the
fuck?
kids. They're
No, they
traumatized.
already called me the old man, so it's fine. I don't need to give them any more ammunition to make fun of my age.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's coming out great, Ryan. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Except Ryan's cheating. Ryan's drawing on his con artist book. So this is not actually Nira. This is a cosplay Nira.
Right, but I'm like Nira.
Ryan's book is all about the industry, and so he has cosplayers and stuff in his comics. So a lot of times they'll have his characters cosplaying as whoever. So
Perfect.
Gotta use our advantages. That, and I like drawing on these books, so it works out.
Yeah, sometimes the paper stock on some of those are like just right. I've been liking. There have been some nightmares in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Some sketch covers on, but yeah, some of the paper stocks they're using are like so nice now. They take all
Con
the
Artist
really well.
is Ryan's book. So if he picked the wrong paper, that's his fault.
You're right. I'd be yelling at the publisher, like, wait, that's me. Fuck. Damn it.
Your heist did not work out.
Then I would yell at the printer, and they'd be like, dude, we sent you samples. This is the one you said. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind. That's what I wanted. I'm lying. I'm just kidding. That, and I hate drawing on like 9x12 paper. I don't know why. It's just like, here, I'll just stick it on a book.
Does it feel wrong because you've been on 11x17 for so long, or something like that?
I you know what? I'm just weird, man. I'm a creature of habit so much that I either
Mhm.
draw on sketch covers or I draw on, like you said, 11 by 17. But I also, if I draw it on 9 by 12, it goes into this weird Bermuda Triangle at my house, and it will never be seen
Yeah.
again because I don't stick it with other sketch covers, and I don't put it in my portfolio of 11 by 17s. So I was like, hey, what happened to that sketch you did when you were alive? It was, you did it on a piece of paper, and it was whatever character. I'm like, oh, it's probably at my house somewhere because I just put it somewhere.
Like that weird in between size. It's right. It's over there with all the
Yeah,
left
I'm like,
socks.
I don't have a 9 by 12 portfolio that I take around with me, so it just kind of floats in disappears. Probably in one of my drawers. I have 2 from these shows that people still ask me about, and I'm like, I know it's here somewhere. I just don't remember where I put it.
My daughter started getting me into 9 by 12s. Her fan base is a lot more anime, a lot more manga stuff. And for some
Right.
reason, she draws nothing but 9 by 12s, and she does that all day long. So it's like, oh, so now I got 9 by 12 bags. Now I got 9 by 12 books. So it's like, oh, okay. So now it doesn't go into the left sock drawer anymore.
But you know what's weird is I'll take 9 by 12 paper to cons. That's how weird I am. I usually have like 9 by 12 paper with me at cons for those guys that don't want something on a sketch cover.
See, there's a part of your soul that's just trying to trying to turn you.
Well, I still have them. I just don't know why. I'm the weirdest guy ever. So when people say creatures of habit's not real. Yeah.
It's interesting, right? When you're at the cons and we talked about this a little bit with the remarks and stuff. It's like people want, I want a remark, but no, I want a comic cover, but no, I want just a piece of paper because theoretically they're going to put it in an art book or potentially frame it, etc.
Right.
There's so many different ways to, get a piece done. And then I'll show you this right now. And then there's Bill, who back in, I don't even know when this happened. And I met him. He did a sketch for me on 11 by 17 art paper. So this, Bill, I don't need you. There's no reason you'll even remember this, but this was Bill way back in the day.
Critter.
I remember that piece, dude.
A million, what feels like a million years ago. And as soon as I had you on the show, I was like, oh my God, I have a piece that Bill did. This was, I was getting pieces done. I had moved past the, hey, draw me Wonder Woman phase. And I started having people draw my characters. And so the last year or so before I actually started publishing, that's what I was doing. I was having people drawing Critter and my characters. So not long after that is when we went to start publishing. And then I was like, well, I'm paying these guys to actually do covers. So I don't think I need the sketches anymore. And so sketching was done. Outside of the occasional, we do sketch covers. So every now and then I'll have some folks do some sketch covers for fun. But as far as the sketch collection of stuff, that kind of vanished. Different levels of art. Now I do get original art from people from time to time, from our artists. Some folks had given me some pieces, which is like, oh my God. And then there's a few that I knew I had to have. So I bought a few. But how do you have, do you still have all your Nira original art, or did you end up selling that stuff off?
Oh no. Yeah. I usually sell everything off. It's, as long as I have scans, that was actually something that was kind of an awful experience. I mean, it was nice. Okay, I'll explain it because I'm rambling now. I'm looking at everybody drawing. When I took over, I was given the imprint for Entity Comics when Don decided to leave publishing for a bit. But all of the backups, all of the archives were on disc, and they were gone. Everything was just completely gone. So I try. Ever since then, I'm backing up everything like 3 times. So as long as I have backups, I sell the originals. The originals are always leaving. In fact, all of the originals for this issue that's in the Kickstarter right now are basically spoken for already.
Hmm.
So they're already not mine. But they're going off to a good home. It's going off to people that appreciate it. So it's all good.
Yeah, I used to
And
sell.
that's what it's all about anyway.
I used to sell them all, and now people have convinced me not to, just because of the boom that old originals have taken. They're like, what happens if your book goes to 250 issues and becomes a big thing, and it becomes a movie, or it becomes a cartoon, or whatever the case is? Like, you sold your original for $500, and they just sold it at Heritage Auction for, $80,000.
Listen, you won't be alive by the time that happens. That's the reality. That's the reality.
Is right.
Yeah, I took that risk myself. I probably won't be alive.
The part of me is like, damn, that's stupid. I should not do that to every single piece.
But
now there's certain pieces I hold on to.
I still have a whole bunch of original Penny for Your Soul stuff, first series, including the covers, because that was part of the deal I had with JB. Was like, look, I want the covers. We'll work together to sell your pages, but I want the covers. So that stuff sits here with me, and it's never going anywhere. In fact, I came across it. I was looking for this Bill piece. So there are things that I don't.
That stuff I would, yeah.
Yeah, there's things that I just don't want to go away. It's not even a monetary thing. It's just this is for me. It's like it's my history in comics. It's like this is where I started. This is where I came from.
For sure. That's part of the reason I've kept on to some of my some of the covers that I've purchased are my own first issues and stuff.
Yeah, even with Dynamite, like the stuff I'm doing with Dynamite, I've talked to some of the artists. I'm like, what's happening with your originals? Because this is my first comic now outside of my own world, and since CB draws digitally, those pages don't exist. So the only Bad Kitty stuff that's going to exist are some of these covers. So I'm already kind of knocking on some doors to get a hold of some of that art.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, for me, it's purely monetary, but it seems. I mean, I would love to be able to just hold on to like an actual library of that stuff. It would have been nice. But you do what you got to do. It's all good. I mean, at the beginning of the plague, as it were, I actually sold one of my IPs, and it kept us alive for a year. So I was like, all right, this is it. You did your job. I'll just have to come up with something new. One of those kind of things.
So anyone that's hanging out with us, if you got questions for any of us, including Bill, feel free to jump in. Kevin Green. So your dog's name is Waffle?
Yeah, Waffle. Okay. Waffle Alexander Mouse is his full name.
Very good. Yeah, feel free to drop in, guys. We're all just hanging out and having a good time, but this is your time too. So you mentioned that you got the Eternity brand at one point. So what does that still exist? I mean, why did you not just go and do Eternity versus Committed Comics or whatever?
Oh no, it's the I actually got the Entity brand and the Parody Press brand. I have both of those, but I use the Entity Comics imprint more as a studio imprint.
Okay.
Like I'll do like artist proof versions of some of our comics, and like it's I don't have enough hats and enough time to actually do everything that needs to be done on the publishing end for me to be effective. Once I'm done using up all my time on the creative side, there's no time left over for me to do the other half. So that's where Committed Comics comes in. They've been a great partner. We're a non-exclusive partner, and they allow me to basically just do whatever I want with the character. It's just anything that I draw, like I'll present to them what they have access to, and we publish our things, just based on what we feel like doing at that time, and go from there. And then same thing with Parody Press. I mean, even though I own the imprint, Don Chen has actually gotten back into comics again. It's like, I was just like, oh, that's fantastic. So he's actually on the West Coast building the brand of it, because he's done a couple of books already, a couple of Indiegogo campaigns that have done well, and so just allowing him to do whatever he likes to do with it. that helps me on this end as far as building brand. And plus, it's an excuse for us to do fun stuff together again. So, and in the meantime, like I said, I don't have enough time in the day to actually do all of those things all at once. So it allows me to kind of come in and come out. Like I actually drew a couple of the one parody. He did a parody called Beard Zerker. It was just a parody of Keanu Reeves' Berserker. And so I was able to do the art chores on that and had a lot of fun with it and able to step away and let him do, his publishing thing. So it's nice. It's kind of a little best of both worlds.
Yeah, I get that. Trust me, I get that. I do all the things, so I totally understand.
Yeah, you multitask like crazy. You're doing all the things. You have action figures.
Well, yeah, but so do you. Come on, you had action figures too. There's Nira action figures.
Yeah, but
I was just gonna rag on you until he said you have action figures, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone because yes, he does.
I think I've got like between 5 and 8 different characters that have been made, but I had help with all that. I wasn't doing that all just by myself.
Of course,
I sent those designs off to the factory, and I dealt with the sculptor, and somebody else handled all of the nuts and bolts that make that stuff actually happen. Kind of miss those days. I need another action figure. I need some statues.
I know, right? All right.
See?
This is.
I'm not the only one.
These
part
are
of why.
needs.
Yeah, this is
actual
part
needs.
of why I wanted to get these damn critter figures done, because it's like, but for you've got an established brand. You've got, this is like similar in capacity to like Lady Death. You've got 20 plus years of, a brand that exists.
We're at 29. Not to make myself look any older, but holy crap, I'm at 29. And and I had offers, like I mentioned before. I sold an IP just to kind of stay alive, but I don't plan on selling this one. So at least I'm hanging on to that. All the originals are going to fly out the door, though, so that helps feed the studio.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, what did your obviously you're on issue 3, so 1 and 2 were funded. Did you get what you were kind of expecting as far as the campaigns went? Were you happy with it? Was it a struggle? Were these your first, these first 2 things, were they your first 2 Kickstarters crowdfunding things?
Issue 2 was legitimately our first Committed Comics crowdfunding thing. Issue 1, we actually just did the old-fashioned way, just direct marketing, and then the plague hit, and then all of a sudden everything was a problem. But then everybody was finding different ways of doing things, like live streaming and Kickstarters and Indiegos. Those started emerging right after we came out with issue 1. I mean, they've always existed, but as far as it becoming oh God, we have to do it this way because the other way almost doesn't exist, for us indie guys. So I did issue 2, and I did a crossover with Fivefinity. Fivefinity does zombies versus cheerleaders.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I did a crossover with them. Just did a Nira X story that just happened to include zombies and cheerleaders, and so we did a cool crossover, and that did fairly well. Issue 2, I think the campaign ended at about 15, just a little over 15,000. And right now, this campaign for issue 3 is 16 and a half. So I'm hoping that we can hit 17, maybe 18.
Oh yeah, you got 11 days left, and you should easily crack that mark. I mean, I was looking at you probably hitting about 20 on this with not too much trouble.
That's what I'm always conservative with.
Of course, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
I'm still the guy that's just I'm just grateful I get to do this. And then Tom's been doing. Tom Dotery, he's the publisher of Committed Comics. He's been doing that first Kickstarter he did was literally his first Kickstarter, and he did a lot of. It was a huge, how it is. It's a learning curve to actually run one of these things and have it be interesting and have a lot of choices, but not have it be too much. Which at a glance it might look like too much, but at the same time, somebody who's looking at it's just oh well, my favorite artist or an artist that I like did this particular, it gives him a lot of choices.
Uh-huh.
And he's juggling and doing all of the nuts and bolts on that using, I don't have a left brain. I can't keep track of all that stuff. So it's like your orders will end up all in Alaska in a dumpster. It's like, so that's why I don't run any of that stuff. So he's doing a really great job of keeping that all going. And we have some cool stretch goals and cool like offbeat items. Like we have a 3D mouse pad. That's one of those bucket list items that I wanted to have, because that's kind of like a manga anime kind of thing. That
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
boob.
where do they
The boob
yeah,
pads.
it's like, where do they print those? I've been looking for years. It's like, where do they print these things? So Tom's like, I know a guy. I was like, all right. Yeah, they get Paulie. We'll send this guy up the river. It's like.
Always helps to know a guy.
So
It's always who you
definitely
know.
keeping the campaign fun, extra little goodies and stuff like that to make it more exciting. Because I like the fact that we treat these releases like events as opposed to just, well, here's the next issue. It's like
Right.
we treat them like a special event, and I think that makes it a lot of fun. These are all looking fantastic, by the way. I'm looking at everybody's artwork. This is great.
Thanks.
So cool.
Yeah, CB has a sci-fi book that he's got as well called Into the Suck that he's been doing for a number of years now. Spacefaring
so cool.
sci-fi.
I love her pose. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you. I love the premise of the story. It was cool hearing you explain it, because like as a creator, like I'm always, as a creator, that's why I have 4 titles going on right now, because I want to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But to create a world where you can do a little bit of everything, like I'm kind of jealous of that. That's cool.
Oh man. Yeah, I love that pose with the tunes. That's sweet.
April has decided to start over.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
No, this is her.
No,
this
no,
is her
But it was looking
moment.
good. What are you talking about?
I'm cutting out the mask so I can
Oh,
do
okay.
the space background.
April does airbrushing and glitter and like all kinds of stuff.
It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
So it's about to get wild over here.
Well, it happened to the blink of an eye. I felt bad for Murphy because she was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be so great," and then during the 5 minutes it took to go through her campaign, I was done. She's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, you only got a certain amount of time to work on these.
So what is this that you got here? This is sold from what I hear on your thread.
Yeah, it did sell already. I was sketching this on a live stream with Pops Van Zandt and the Madness guys and Rich and those people over there. This is an image for the sticker sheet. And the more I kept on looking at it, I'm almost like this. I feel like I can use this particular pose for something on the interior pages, also, just because of a couple of the story pages. Like, oh, this would be a cool scene to have right in the middle of it. But primarily, it's supposed to be. So that's what this is, and then I don't have the costume on her yet because I'm going to draw the costume on her digitally for reasons.
We all know what those reasons are.
Yeah, I got a Patreon page called Club Corrupt, and that's where I post all of my nudie stuff.
How does that do for you, that Patreon?
I don't really promote it, and I barely just kind of started it. And I just have like a $5 tier. That's just like, it just gives you access to everything. Because I really actually, when I first got the page going, I was just like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, make it a complex thing. I'm going to do like, full painted piece. It was too much for me to actually keep track of. So I was just like, you know what? Let me start it simple instead of thinking I can do everything all at once. So that's why I just was, you know what? $5. Just make it super easy. It's like an impulse thing. People could dip out if they want. You know, it's like I think there's like 900 pieces in there right now, and like some videos and process stuff. And
Wow.
but I'm posting like as I get a chance to post, you know, throughout the week, so instead of like a hard schedule and stuff. So if I was charging more, like, you know, I would expect more. If I was paying more, I would expect more. It's like, hey, every Friday, where's my stuff? You know, it's like Friday, 8:00 Central. You know, it's like, where's my shit? But keep it simple, keep it, you know. So it's doing fine. There's like literally, I this is like one of the only times I've even mentioned it like publicly or just like on my Facebook page or something like that. So it only has like a handful of members in it so far. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I follow a couple people on that, and they seem to be doing well. I'm that guy, like I got on a couple guys that they do a lot of digital coloring and certain things I wanted to learn. And they're like, oh, just sign up to the Patreon. We do tutorials. We do that. And I'm like, hell yeah. It's like, it's always at my access. And I look at it like maybe once a month where I'm like, shit, what did I do that for? And yet I'm just the lazy guy that's like, oh, I still want to support him. It's all right.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's good that it's like that.
Well, even when you keep it simple, I keep mine pretty simple. We've got a couple of tiers. There's a $5 and then there's a $10 tier. $10, they get extra bonus stuff every 6 months, and we'll occasionally let them vote on things like names for characters and so on, which is happening right now. I gave them 4 names for this new vampire character that we've got, and it's currently a 3-way tie between 3 names. I'm like, you guys did this wrong. What am I supposed to do with a 3-way tie now? So we have to figure out a way to break the tie.
Yeah, that's what the next tier is for, Tom.
Oh, right.
I know.
Yeah.
See,
you
$100 tier.
If you're a $20 tier member, you break the ties.
You break the tie. There you go. That's marketing 101 right there.
Your vote will count twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm uploading things, but it's pretty casual. So I can't charge more than $5.
Yeah, my problem with doing that is I was always afraid I wouldn't be able to keep up with you know, constantly posting and doing this. I mean, I'm already running around like crazy half the time anyways.
It's hard to keep up, period. You know, so it's, you know, just with commissions or like right now there's I wear a lot of different hats just because I sort of fell into it. But like I'm lettering like 80 pages of a book for someone, but I'm also turning around and doing sketch cards for someone else. And I'm turning around and doing designs for this company called Voices for Autism. And they're creating sensory rooms at a place. I don't know where in the UK it is, but like I don't know like certain details off the top of my head just because but it's like creating characters and things for like murals on walls and things like that. And of course I got this book, which is like my passion, you know, it's like trying to make sure that there's always time carved out for this. So it's like, you end up wearing a lot of hats. It's hard to keep up. And then I started the Patreon page. And I'm just like, oh man, it's like I want to do this thing, I want to do that thing. If once a month, maybe I could send out like little prints. I was like, good God,
somebody else do this for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, so it started little by little. If I think it'll just be a slow transition. As I get more followers, then I'll just by default have more time for the Patreon page, and then just allocate less time to outside projects, that sort of thing. So it'll just be a slow slide.
Yeah.
Still got to buy Burger King in between, you know. So
got to get that king.
I got to get my Mickey D's on.
Starbucks.
There you go. See, you can't. Like I would like to make a hard transition, but it means like, you know, no money for 4 months, and then like everything's fine. But it's like during the 4 months, I'll be dead.
It gets rough.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to worry about that. I don't do fast food often. I just kind of cut it out.
If you cut it out, keep it out. It's like if you can, Like, good Lord.
I don't know how I did it. I'll be honest. I don't know how I did it. I just, because we used to do Burger King and Taco Bell and all that stuff all the time. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't taste very good. I'm tired of doing this. And we literally just stopped going, especially during COVID. We just stopped going to all that stuff. And now we're like, do we really want to get back into McDonald's? Nope, not really.
Man, now if you got away from it, I actually got away from soda and all that kind of. I had my gallbladder taken out like 4 years ago, something like that, and lost a bunch of weight. I was actually doing good. When I drank soda, it didn't really taste all that great. I was just eating a lot better. But eventually, as soon as I found out that I can eat M&Ms and crap all over again, I was just like, oh, this doesn't hurt me at all. I'm fine.
Like, this isn't too bad. I'm all right.
No, I want the 20 pounds back. And now I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? You know.
There was a time my body was starting to tell me that it didn't want dairy anymore, and I just told my body, look, we're going to have it. So just stop this.
I tried that.
We're not stopping the dairy.
My body won.
Yeah. The body. Yeah. You're just going to have to deal with it.
This is just what it's going to be.
Yeah. Cause ice cream is a thing. And as long as that's a thing, you're going to have it.
Yeah. During COVID, my body decided to be lactose intolerant. And I was like, no. See, we've done milk and ice cream all our life. Like, that's not going to change. And my body was like, nah, guess what, dude? Not going to happen.
Cat's allergic to chocolate, which is a rough one. That's because now the only way I can have chocolate is if I'm sneaking it. Like, you know, it's like if she comes into the car and she sees like a milkshake cup empty in the middle console there. It's just like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Traitor.
No, that doesn't mean I still don't try. It just doesn't work very well for me. My body's like, hey, remember that deal we had? You went off on it, so now you're going to feel like shit for the next 4 hours.
You just got to give it. Here's the thing. When your body starts saying, yeah, this isn't going to work, you just give it more.
Yeah.
And eventually it's like, fine.
It still didn't work. I ended up in the hospital. But
jeez.
Yeah, it didn't work. But I did learn that lactose-free stuff is actually, if you get the right brand, is not that bad.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, we'll compromise. I'll get the taste. You get the non-lactose stuff. So
I drink a lot of Fair Life milk.
No, I don't like that one. It tastes
really?
No.
That's the one I ended up. That's the one we ended up getting.
God, what is it? It's called Lactaid.
Okay, yeah. I've seen
Lactaid.
Lactaid.
So now though, like, we don't have normal dairy products. I mean, we have like normal cheese and stuff, but no normal ice cream, no normal milk. I'll cheat. We do have Baskin Robbins every now and then, but I don't eat a lot of it.
You just take those lactose pills before you eat it, right?
Yeah, my niece does that. She does that for anything dairy.
Yeah.
But
that's what my daughter does. Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, I was huge. Like I could do a gallon of milk a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And now it's like, no, mother trucker. Now we have Lactaid, and it's really good. But because I couldn't have it for so long, I didn't find it for so long, and I kind of weaned myself off of it.
Yeah.
I don't drink as much anymore. Like Starbucks, I couldn't do Starbucks until I found out the soy milk is actually not that bad when they make the coffee with it.
The airbrushing is really cool. April, we're over here talking about milk.
She's muted.
Got you.
She's doing the Milky Way.
I haven't tried using that little airbrush attachment for my Copics. I haven't tried that yet.
I had it.
That's pretty. That's
a lot better
sweet.
than I did. April found control with it. I could not. I was always yelling at it.
I was always looking for alternatives to my big airbrush compressor.
Right.
But being portable, it's like I didn't want to take. Right now, I have a CO2 tank that I use instead of a compressor for my airbrush, and that works perfect. I mean, it's quiet. The CO2 tank lasts for a really long time.
Really?
Oh.
I've never thought of that. I got a little compressor.
But I'm not. Oh, dude,
I've
that
got a
CO2 tank
mini.
was
It's
so.
a mini compressor.
I used to
I've got a
love my
mini-
mini compressor. It sounds like a
Yeah.
fridge.
Yeah.
But the CO2 tank it kind of solved all my problems up here just because it's dead quiet. It just sits there. And for as often as I airbrush, it probably lasts me like 6 months. And if I used it all the time, it still lasts me like 3 or 4 months.
That's good to know.
One of my other lives that I've led was drawing caricatures at SeaWorld in San Diego.
Oh,
yeah.
And I did that for about 3 years. And we used to have big CO2 tanks instead of compressors. And I remembered that. And I was like, oh, maybe I should try that at home. So I got a little half tank.
Damn, I used to live at SeaWorld in San Diego.
Oh, dude.
I used to go there all the time. My dad went back when it was still owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, that's that's it.
Yeah,
I remember
my dad,
when Anheuser-Busch bought the park. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad worked at Anheuser-Busch that's where he retired from. So we used to get, for a while, it was unlimited tickets. Then it went to I think 24 tickets a year. So me and my buddies could go to San Diego and go to SeaWorld like 4 or 5 times a year. Just to hang out, just to get out of town.
Yeah.
Good old Southern California.
Yeah, I miss it. I lived out there for like 12 years.
I don't miss it.
Now I'm an East Coast guy again. I don't miss the price of property. I miss living out there though.
Everybody misses the environment. They don't miss anything else.
I miss 70-degree weather year round.
Yeah, right.
It's like
right. But I was baffled. I know it with everything going on. Gas out here last week was $3. Today was $3.50. So I could only imagine, knowing that in California last week, my buddy said it was like $4.89 or something like that. You can only imagine what it was this week.
Yep.
If I had to pay $5 plus a gallon for gas, I'd ride a bike.
It's like this runs on lactate.
Yeah. For sure. No, I just drink regular milk. It's gas powered.
There you go.
Gas is over. Yeah, see, Albert, gas is over $5 in San Francisco Bay Area. F all that.
No doubt.
Forget that, man.
Yeah, it's like about $3.50 here in Michigan ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad, but it's not out of control.
Yet.
I'm like, we went up 40 cents in 2 days.
Yeah, well, that happens. I mean, that's been happening ever since Biden got in. It's been it goes up and then it comes down, and it goes way up, and it comes back down. It goes way up, it comes back down. Yeah. That's the current pattern. What for me though, it's like I mean, it's good for me because I'm not doing as many cons. But when I do go, I drive, so as I go west, I watch the price increase. The further west I go, the higher the price gets every single time. It's crazy.
Good God.
Damn.
I'm going to get that bike.
Gas powered.
So here's April's big reveal.
Sweet.
Peels off in layers.
It's got to be better than a Frisket, though.
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, really? It depends on the kind of paper. Frisket sticks really too much if it's like that smooth cold press kind of paper.
You got to get the low tack Frisket film.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like I was having a hard time with it, and Mark Brooks told me, he's like, get this one, and then before you even put it on, stick it on your shirt.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Let it make it a little less tacky.
It's even less tactful, and it's already low tack. And then do this. I was like, all right, and it's worked.
Yeah, I learned. My first comic stuff that I ever did wasn't writing; it was art assisting for somebody else's comic. guy named Mike Vosberg out in California, did his own comics called Lori Lovecraft, and he brought me on as an art assistant when he was doing stuff for HBO for the Spawn cartoon, like doing storyboards and stuff. So I was learning all kinds of crap. And then when he started doing his comics, the Frisket was part of it. And I'd never even seen this stuff before. I was like, this is wild. So I was doing all of his Frisket work so that he could come in and do his airbrushing and you know, like April's doing the little stars with the brush and everything. He had all kinds of little toothbrushes. He was spraying white paint on it and stuff. Crazy techniques, but yeah, it was wild. It was wild. So, but I did all that Frisket stuff. It was interesting. Back in the 90s. Back in the 90s.
That looks super cool.
Thanks.
Like full airbrush background.
Da, da, da.
April likes to one up all of us.
Right.
Every
Wait till she
week.
gets the glitter out. Then it's real.
Like, do you see how my eyes shimmer with the Copics?
Right?
April turns around. See how my eyes shimmer because I actually put glitter in there, mother trucker.
In 20 years, can you imagine what my lungs are going to look like? It's gonna open me up as an autopsy. It'll be like, what the fuck?
It's gonna be like one of those holiday cards that just pop open glitter. Glitter flies everywhere. It's gonna be her final joke to the coroner.
They're gonna
Yes,
be like,
ma'am.
I think
It's just
that
like
we
that
should put this
vomiting
in a
rainbow meme.
gallery. Oh man.
So what's this one you got now, Bill?
That's actually page 1. That's page 1 from the interior of the book. Yep.
Ooh, pretty.
There you
It's
go.
kind of picking up. They started a fight with this character. Her name is Thalia, the Cyber Demon, because I like to stick with my 90s names.
Nice.
So this is where the fight is now escalating to. So we're gonna have a lot of fighting in this book.
I didn't
a lot
even
of
see
anger.
that on the campaign.
It's really small. He's got like a stamp size. Oh, look, interior pages.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even kidding. If I would have seen that,
Whereas I
would
could be
have
like, look,
drawn
it's
that.
3D. It's like it's so big.
Good looking stuff. So actually, we're talking about the campaign. Let me get the share happening here, and we'll run through it.
Cool.
Tell people what's going on, what they need to buy. Let's see here, Nira.
I'll basically be just reading it along with you, because I'm usually not the sales guy. I'm more like the art guy.
You just tell us what we're looking at, what we need to know. So Nira X is
Sure.
back. Nira X is back. There you go. There's some interior stuff right at the beginning.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So a little preview of some of the interior pages, let you know that is picking up right where issue 2 left off with the big fight.
We've got Ken stuck at the airport hanging out. Welcome, Ken. We are just about to scan through the campaign here for a little bit. So if anyone's got questions about anything you're seeing, let me know. And this is the time to talk about the book, ask about the campaign, what you need to get.
Those are
unlock bonus items.
Those are the items that have already been unlocked. So like there's stickers, there's a sticker sheet, there's a bookmark, there's cards, there's things, there's stuff.
I noticed the Bun Leung Chibi. Bun does a lot of stuff for us. Love his
awesome.
work. Yeah, he's done some covers. He does a lot of stickers for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's that standalone sticker that he did, and also there's a variant cover. As we go down, we'll see who did what. But yeah, it came out so great. I love seeing the character, and I love not having any like really hard control over how an artist might draw the character. I really want to see the character through their lens. That's the whole point of having somebody else draw it.
Sure.
So
Ken wants to know if the Mercy sticker is a nude. He says it kind of looks like it.
Well, she's nude right now, but the sticker itself, I have to talk to Tom to see if we're actually going to have a nude version of the sticker. I do not know right now. I just drew it today on a live stream earlier, and Tom actually doesn't even know about it yet.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
Tom, if you're watching, I drew a sticker.
So PDF
So we'll
of
find-
the third issue, PDF of the first
Mhm.
3 issues.
Correct.
Easy enough.
Yep.
There's the physical copy. Now we're going into some
Issue
of the
3.
variants there.
And this variant, that image for the $15 one, that was actually, I did a light pencil version of that image that we made a sticker of for the campaign for issue number 2. And then for this campaign, I went ahead and inked it and colored it like I normally do. And we just had it as a nice in-between variant cover. That sticker image was actually digitally painted by Cat Mouse. So she's
Nice.
and the light pencil completely disappears. It just ends up being a digital painting, which is really cool. So it gives a really unique look for the sticker, and then this cover will have a different look, even though same pose, same artwork. There's Bun's piece.
Yep. Did a great job. Love that cover.
So great. Yeah, it's a really cool cover. I love that take on her.
Bun never fails to impress. Everything he does is fantastic. So
And she's got so much personality. It's like this is anime and manga type stuff, like that's a big influence on my stuff, even though my stuff never really leans so much that way that you wouldn't call me a manga artist, but I'm also not very Western either. So I'm somewhere in between.
sure.
Then we have Andrew Mangum. He's got a variant cover of his own. This is a nice full circle because he actually he gave Don Chin, our publisher back in the 90s. His story is that he gave us some artwork to get printed in the fan section in the back, and it never got printed up. So he's really happy that this full circle thing kind of happened where it's like, oh, he's actually on the cover. So I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really cool. He's actually become a great supporter. Then we have our 90s Silvestri homage, because that issue of Cyberforce just sticks out in my head, and I thought that would be a cool, especially since we're sticking with the 90s theme. That's in her DNA,
Yeah. Cyberforce is an interesting book. I feel like it's really kind of almost forgotten, but when you go back to it, it's really an amazing book. There's some amazing covers. And they just did they did literally, and we're going to do a tangent here. They did a omnibus recently for Cyberforce that was supposed to be impossible. Because back in the day, like you said, you lost all those files, right? Supposedly, all these Cyberforce files were gone. It was photographed back in the day. The negatives were gone. Like, this was an impossible project, but they managed to go back in and find enough workable things, enough scans that were high resolution. They did a little bit of monkeying with it to kind of clean it up and make it a finished product. But I'm really excited. I was definitely a backer of it. Because I was like, oh my God, this is supposed to be impossible. So, the stuff that you have, I mean, basically so cool. your original Nira stuff. I mean, is it just gone forever?
It's gone forever. In fact, the only way that we could do the issue 0 that we did. So yeah, the way that we actually formulated issue 0 is I started with a little bit of news story just to get readers kind of introduced to the character. And she's a little girl with her dad, and she's just she's like just learning how to be, because he's like a transport kind of guy with her, not not really like a bounty hunter, more like a FedEx guy. So she's kind of like learning how to fly the ship and just some basics or whatever. You can see that she lives in this futuristic kind of Star Wars-y kind of world. And she gets visited by her future self. Her future self is like, I need to give you this information because whatever it is that she did, it didn't work out. It's like, you have to take the reins from here because what I did didn't really work out. So her cyber skin is a technology. She has this belt that she wears around her leg, and it contains something called the cyber skin, and it forms all of her outfits and weapons and that sort of thing. It also contains all those different memories that Nira has had throughout all of her different lives. So she gives it to her younger self, and her younger self goes into this flashback. That's the meat of the book. It's the 300 pages of all of the old material is the flashback that she's experiencing. So she's getting all of those memories of all of her experiences. It's like, crap, these are things that I did or whatever. And then at the end of the book, she comes out of the flashback, and then she sees that she kind of realizes who she is because of these new memories. The future self is already gone and faded away. So this is Nira. This is who she is now. And then the book leaves off from there, and then we start the new series as her as a young adult. Basically, wow, this is the moment that this.
What you're saying is the adult version of her ruined father-daughter take your daughter to work day.
Totally, completely.
Like, I know she's gonna be here. Sorry, Dad, but taking the reins.
How's it going, Phil? Welcome in. We're going through the for those that are just dropping in, we're going through the campaign here for Nira X number 3. We've seen some of these variant covers here. We're down to Cat Mouse.
Cat Mouse. That is her nude version of Thalia, the cyber demon. It's a full digital piece. A lot of her pieces are full digital. Now she's kind of going 60-40 when it comes to originals, and it's kind of cool because I mean she paints and she does all these different types of art, but I noticed for a lot of her comic book covers and things that she's doing recently, she's doing full digital stuff, and just coming out amazing.
And then some guy named Bill Mouse.
Yeah, Bill, we hired him because I don't know, he was out in front of the studio.
He's got a knack for the character for some reason.
So this is a digitally colored pencil rendering of the character. So that's why she looks a little bit different than my normal like pen and ink kind of work. So that's her new cover. And then Tristar, that's his regular cover. It's a really cool digital style. And he's also got a name.
That's a name I don't know. I'm not familiar with that at all. But good looking cover.
Yeah, haven't met him yet. I've just been introduced to his name also, which is a Tristar or Tristar. I'm kind of in between the two.
I think it's Tristan, so it's
right, exactly.
Sorts it up,
exactly.
But he does a lot of variants and stuff with Comics Elite. He's Indiana based. Nice guy.
Thank you. Thanks for the backup. Because a lot of these artists are people that I've just met just now and actually haven't even truly met yet. They're working with Tom and back and forth with emails, so I haven't truly met them. So it's great to have them on board. Glad that they're a part of it. This one is a Joe Madureira homage cover because I just couldn't do one homage to the 90s, right? So I had to homage it again.
Well, that was like Joe Benitez when he did his. He homaged all of the original Image Comics
that's cool.
starting covers. That was his whole thing. All Lady Mechanica, but it was all homaging the original Image stuff. So
that's cool. That's really cool. When Image first started, like the first 10 issues of just about everything Image came out with was like so influential on everything the 90s was about, so
people forget that. A lot of those books have ended up like in dollar bins, right? But you look at those and you're like, God damn, that was really good.
Yeah, dude, I remember looking forward to these books so much. I mean, it's like,
right.
And I remember speculators coming into the shop because they ordered like so many copies of Spawn, like the first issue of Spawn. There was a guy that walked out with a box. It was like, yep, this is Spawn 1, and it's like he's got a full box, and I'm like, what? It was like, it was crazy, but that was early 90s, man. It's like, yeah. Like I bought a copy to put away, a copy to put on my shelf, and a copy I can actually read.
It's like buying toys, right? You buy one to keep closed, you buy one to open up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one. Okay.
And Lena Dye has a variant cover.
Yeah,
I love this anime manga style. I just really, really love this piece a lot. She killed it. Yeah. The colors, like everything about that cover is like, I feel like I'm picking up the anime of it already. It's kind of like, all right. And Tristar has a spicy variant with like a different head and everything. It's not just the same pose with just a different color, just taking out the costumes. Like actually drew in some different elements, different facial expression. I thought that was really cool. Then we have
there's evil, the you did a butt.
Yeah, we did a butt this time.
Never seen a butt pad. Well done.
Well, the thing is, having tendonitis is very serious in this country. So I wanted people to have a medical grade, comforting item next to their computer that could help. And I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying to help.
Nira X, we're just here to help.
We're just medical grade. Wow, I love that.
Hey, Thomas is here.
Tom, what's up? We were just talking about you.
All good things. All good things.
You'll have to watch the video back to see what the actual talking was all about.
All good things. Don't worry about it. All good things.
We got some foil happening.
Yeah, this I really want to see how this comes out printed. The red portions of her costume will be a red foil for this cover, and it'll be no trade dress or anything on it. It'll be just like that.
Sure. And then sketch covers.
Then we have sketch covers. So there's a couple different artists that join me as far as providing sketch covers, and they got samples and things like that, so you could look at samples of their artwork. Mm-hmm. Got Andrew and his son Gabriel, Todd Rayner.
Oh, I know Todd.
And Greg Paulson. He's also doing sketch covers for us. I thought that was really cool. He'd be a part of the campaign with us. And then Tom, he's also working with this company that provides these cases called vault cases. They're similar in style to like when you get your comic slabbed by CBC or whatever, or CC. I always get those letters all screwed up, but it's just like when you slab your book. But it's not an official grading. It's just a way to seal the book, keep it in good condition, and then the branding and stuff on the top is something that we print up ourselves specifically for the campaign. And it's something that you can get right away. I know that the other grading stuff, they're months and months behind schedule. So at least it's something nice that you can
nice display, keep it safe, display it nice.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Then we have sketch commission, black and white sketch commissions, and a color sketch commission, which can be like characters other than Nira. It could be a creator-owned character of your own. It could be.
This is where you get your 9x12 paper, right?
That's where I get my 9x12 paper. And actually, the way that we did last time and this time, it's more like the size of a comic book backing board. It's not drawn on a backing board. It's drawn on art paper, but it's that size. So that way I can actually bag and board it. People can actually collect it and put it into their comic book boxes. And then get yourself drawn into the book, the big tier at the end.
And you get the original art. That's cool.
And you get the original art from so you get the issue, you get the original art from the page that you're in, and
I won't mention the typo.
Oh, thank God, because I'm looking at everything on I'm using my phone instead of a webcam on my big screen, because the phone captures light a whole lot better on my table. So I'm looking at this like the size of a stamp.
Yeah.
Going through this with you.
Oh, I just saw what you're talking about. I was like, what?
Look for the typo. Yeah. Win $1.
Everybody, that's right. It's the no prize.
Hey, I was just gonna say, as long as we're sticking with a '90s theme, right? Or back further, maybe.
Then we do have a couple of retailer packs, just in case retailers just want to have the book on the shelf. It's a much better deal for them.
Sure.
So they just have to provide credentials of their brick and mortar shop. And Ali Garza did a fantastic variant cover for us that we have available as an add-on.
Yep.
There's a regular, there's a nude, and there's a black and white version of that cover. So whichever. I know that you can't really reach the add-on menu until you make a pledge, like you pick one of the other pledges.
Right.
So and I think it doesn't matter what pledge it is. It could be like the $5
Yeah, you can
uh,
pledge for
PDF.
anything, and then it'll give you the option to tack things on.
Ex-
Yep.
Exactly. And then these graphics just basically just have a little synopsis of what add-ons are available that you can just that way you can pick and choose your tier, and then it's like, okay, I can add this stuff on.
Oh, so you got the boob pad too. You got the butt and the boob pad.
Oh yeah, the boot pad is still available. And then $30. We had a nude catch-up set, which was issues 1, 2, and 3. I didn't have a nude cover for number 1 when we first came out with number 1. So I did a brand new one for number 1, and we have that there as an add-on. Because the set itself, we only had so many issues of issue 2, and I think those sold out as far as the nude set goes. So at least we still have the number 1 still available. And then these are other stretch goals that hopefully we will unlock one, maybe 2 of them. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like getting to 20,000 should be well within reach for you. I mean, you're close to 17 now, aren't you? Let's see where you're
Getting there. Yeah, it's 16.
16.3. Yeah, so you only need $3,600 in 11 days. I mean, yeah, 20,000. I think you'll definitely start to sniff that range pretty easily.
And that would be fantastic, just to carve out just the month just for her. So that'll be super nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
good looking stuff, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I thank you so much. I love the fact that I'm sitting here and you guys are all drawing a version of Nira of your own. These are coming out freaking fantastic. I hope we take some good scans or some good pictures of these. I'd love to keep on sharing these and posting them up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the point. Half the point of doing this show was we were talking about, con sketches and so on, and how these artists, it's like, hey, dude, draw Batman, draw Wolverine, draw one. Like they draw these things a million times. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a show where we're going to break this up and give these guys things to draw that maybe they've never drawn before. And I would assume that in all 3 cases, you guys have never drawn Nira before.
I draw like once a week.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was just going to say, I've made 4 issues of fan fiction.
I don't think we've done a show except for my own where I've drawn the character more than once, if even that, or Critter. Yeah. Like every show we've done, I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is. No, because I drew a different version of Zombie Tramp when we did Dance.
Oh, you did draw. Didn't you do a cover or something for Lady Mechanica? Like, surely you've drawn that one before.
Well, yeah, I've drawn Lady. I didn't do a cover, but I've drawn Lady Mechanica before. No, I never did that one until
interesting.
I did it at the same time. I'm sorry. I did it for that Kickstarter that Vince was on. But before that, I had never drawn that character.
Cool.
It just worked out that I happened to be on his Kickstarter for us to draw it. So cool. But yes, we don't draw anything that we do 1,000 times. So I'm like, yeah. Oh wait, what character is this again? Who does it look like? I think the best one was the Critter one, where we all drew a different version of the Critter.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not the same thing.
That was super fun.
I don't know if I can get a starry background like April's got. She got us all beat.
Well, we got Zane, who just does it by hand.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking of. Was like, can I pull something together?
He's doing the Kirby Crackle right now.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with the Kirby Crackle. That looks sweet.
I was trying to think, like, what would be a 90s thing? I just have to. I should have given her a million ammo belts, and then the background is just crosshead.
Couple of pockets that don't make any sense.
Yep.
April, girls don't have pockets.
But in true Liefeld, way, I didn't draw her feet, so
there you go.
Keeping that 90s tradition alive.
No, I didn't draw her arms.
Yeah.
I took it one further.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Venus de Milo. This shit.
So here's a little more interior stuff for your. I like that. That's a great. I love that negative. That's not even negative space really, but I love the power of that black with her bangs. Like that's awesome. That's awesome looking.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm glad you dig that. That's cool.
Yeah, that looks really badass.
That's powerful.
You just had to curse, didn't you?
Powerful.
Yeah. Shit. Damn it. What?
Curse jar.
How dare you?
Yep. Let's see how fast we can get Tom kicked off of YouTube.
Saying bad words while I got these these chicks over here half naked trying to fight.
That's a good title for a comic. Half naked chicks trying to fight. Like there's no way that doesn't sell.
Right.
Yeah.
She won.
No chance that
Right
doesn't
down.
Open paps.
sell. Half naked chicks trying to sell. Trademark Tom Hutchison.
Write that down. As long as I get to do a cover, we all get to do a cover. Write that shit down.
Inspired by Bill Mouse.
We're just trying to make the world a happier place.
That's right.
That definitely seems like it's something off out of Noble's collection. So
Yeah, right.
we could have it happen.
I can definitely make that work.
Well, and it fits in with the current like trend of like super long titles now too.
Oh God, yeah. I don't understand what that is.
Super
If I
long.
have to take 2 breaths to say your title, I'm not going to read it.
See, look, we already sold one, and we don't even know what the book is yet. We're already building the audience.
Thanks, Ken.
Done.
Thanks. Yeah, Ken's a good supporter, man. He knows what's up.
Yeah, girls fighting. That's what's up.
That's like when I I think it was 2020, and I came out and I started joking that I was going to do a book called Lingerie Wars, and everybody was like, "Yeah, when's that coming?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?
I remember that.
It's not real." And they're like, "No. When's that? No, really, when is that book happening?" And I was like, "Dude,
I'm looking at release dates. What?
yeah,
are the release dates?
2025, I guess." So I gave myself 5 years.
I still think you should do it.
I gave myself 5 years to figure out what it is. So, we'll see y'all in 2025.
No. That's just leaving money on
Or
the table.
that could be that's what it is. It's Lingerie Wars, and then like the tagline is half naked girls trying to fight. Like that's all the puzzle pieces
I'm gonna get
are
it.
coming together.
I get a nickel every time you say that now.
That's
It's
right.
like,
Well, then
I'm
hell,
gonna have
keep
to
this conversation going.
I'm just gonna go ahead and release that story on my Patreon page. And
There you go. There you
for
go.
only $5, you get to see one page of this a week.
Yeah, Victoria. There was the book. I think I know your book you're talking about. It's called Victoria's Secret Service, Ken, by Blue Water back in the day. I don't know what they call
kind of
themselves now,
remember
but
that.
yeah, Victoria's
that
Secret
sounds familiar.
Service. It was basically spies using the hot girl. It was Danger Girl meets James Bond meets on and on and on.
Victoria's Secrets.
Yeah, but sort of, but they never really went into
How
the
dare
Victoria's
you
Secret
connect
part. And that
those
was the
two.
weird part, is they never took it to the pinup girl thing. Really, they actually kept it fairly, ordinary.
How
Well,
dare
that's
you
no-
advertise
that's just
something
false
and not deliver on
advertisement.
it? I know,
Right?
yeah.
Bait and switch.
It's like having a Transformers movie with nothing but cars.
But they're Transformers.
All you get
they're
is the sound
just
effect.
cars. Maybe
It's
they
like
talk
doing a
about
Superman show that's just about him as a reporter. Like, why?
We call that Lois and Clark.
I know.
We call that Smallville, folks. Superman didn't show up till the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Now that show
that
is
was-
not
how
supposed
many-
to be about Superman.
Well, that's
how many years was that? Before
10
that last episode, it was 10 years, right?
10 years. 10
Yeah.
years.
That's why I was so
And
upset.
what's crazy is they did all kinds of stuff. Like they had Doomsday and all kinds of crazy stuff, but
Oh,
no
they had all the
Superman.
stuff.
Yeah, no Superman until the end of the show. They even had Zan
I'm
and
sorry.
Jaina.
Too cool for tights. I see how it is. No, I'm gonna wear jeans and be Superman. It's
Yeah.
cool. It'll be
No,
fun.
you know what it was? Is I watched the podcast Yeah, they were filming the podcast, and Tom Welling said that doing the show, he never wanted to wear the suit because he didn't want to end up being that same Superman curse of not getting anything else.
Ah,
And
He
yet,
didn't think that it should rely on the suit showing up to be why people watched it,
well, and he got 10 years out of it, so kudos.
right? But they're doing an animated version, a continuation of it.
Of Smallville?
Yeah, but animated with
That's weird.
the actors are doing the voices and stuff.
Wow.
That's weird. That's kind of weird. But okay.
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum was just talking about it somewhere.
Well, and they got to show up in the Crisis thing that they did
Yeah,
on
that
TV.
was cool.
yeah, I thought that was glad they pulled that off. Yeah. I mean, it's like they're not going to bring Allison Mack back for anything, but
Yeah,
still,
no.
Not at least for 5 to 10 years. I'm not sure if that was a good laugh or bad. You're like,
Nothing good can come of it.
No. Yeah, it turns out you can't do that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Nobody told her. It's just like, oh yeah, when you get a lot of money and you're in Hollywood, it's like there's still some lines in the sand you probably shouldn't cross. You're not actually Lex Luthor.
right.
So we have a Kirby Crackle contest happening here.
Yeah.
They're fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
I love the word Kirby Crackle.
April just
like
decided to like airbrush. Like, geez, come on, April.
Oh, she hooked it up.
There's a booty shot for you.
That's it. Hold my pen.
That's some solid booty shot.
I like that. I like Joe Madureira stuff.
Yeah, he was always like a huge influence on me too. It was like, between that and there's so many different artists that you pick and choose like the different things that an artist kind of like leaves with you as you go along. There's certain artists that the way they hatch is perfect, or the way they like do certain angles is perfect, or you try to reverse engineer it as best you can. But this particular cover always stuck with me, so I was just like, oh, it'd be really cool to do that one cover. I had a T-shirt that had this image like on it, like real huge. Like, I can't even wear it anymore. It's a ratty T-shirt at this point. But I love that X-Men cover.
Yep.
And not even completely for the butt. It's like the whole pose.
Yeah, it's all solid. It's all solid. Well, and I'll tell you this, Bill, because not only do I do my own comics and stuff, but I do live shows on Facebook to sell them, but I also just sell comics in general. Like I do Sunday night. In fact, I do one right before I do this show. I do a Sunday night sale, and because I'll buy collections and whatever's in there is what I'll sell. So whenever there's Nira X stuff, it invariably just goes right out the door. Like I'll be like, so I've got Nira X, like 1 through sold, gone. So there's definitely, a fan base for it, for both the people that had it before and want it again, and new people that are like, what is this? I don't know what this is. This is awesome. Give it to me.
Dude,
it always sells.
That's what I like to hear. It's like, yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad you told me that. That's really cool.
Whenever I'm searching through, like sometimes it's like you can just go through boxes and take whatever you want. If there's Nira in there, it's like, yeah, just keep piling it up. I'll take all of it because I know I'm going to be able to get it to a new home. And we're really in an era right now of comics where the bad girls are back, in a really big way. Not just the old ones, but just in general. Like the concept of this stuff that we do is back in a very, very big way, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see.
It is. This is going to be a very interesting decade for independent comics in general.
Sure.
Just the there's a pocket and there's a space that and not necessarily because maybe the bigger companies are kind of scaling back, or I don't know what the response is to some of their moves, you know, because I don't pretend to understand all of it. I just react to what's actually happening.
Mhm.
But there's a space where all of this support for independent comic books, something different, something, you know, because a lot of people haven't seen, you know, these books. You know, it's like you know, thank God there's a fan base that remembers it. There's that recognition value, and they're coming back for more. They enjoyed, because really the book is fun. You know what I mean?
What?
It doesn't take itself too
How
seriously.
dare you? Making fun books?
I know. You know, and you could say all the little headliner, like clip bits or whatever like that. It's like, oh, she's a strong character. She's not the damsel in distress. And I'm just like, well, you could say those types of things to try and kind of woo people over. And that's what she is. I mean, she's not. That's the reason I was able to bring her into the Zen book for her first appearance, because I brought her on as not as a damsel in distress character, but Zen was a cool character by himself, which, you know, that's a science fiction element that the book had. So I had monsters, I had aliens, I had spaceships, everything in this book except for like who can I partner Zen up with, somebody cool that's actually more of an equal, more of a, you know, she's not rescuing this person. This is the person that he's partnering with to rescue and or you know, capture other people as a fellow bounty hunter, you know. So I always thought that was just a very normal approach to her. And then the fact that it's just fun stuff. I mean, it's, you know, if I thought it was fun, then I'm assuming that, you know, hopefully there's other people that would think those things are fun.
I can tell you the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I'm gonna say yeah.
It's 3 yeses. You're on to the next round.
Didn't even need the golden buzzer.
Did we get one of those yet?
I have it.
Okay, we need to use that when Jim's on more often. Jim definitely needs to get buzzed a couple times.
I guess I could show you what one of these 3D mouse pads look like.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you got a
sample? The one that we had from the first campaign is actually available still for this one. So it's
these things crack me up.
You rest your wrist, you know, right there. It's really is quite 3D. Like the technology that goes into these is amazing.
That's unbelievable.
And the fabric and stuff that they make it from is like, it's crazy cool. It's like, and then the back is like this rubberized material, so it doesn't slip. But
so did you have to test out different cup sizes to fit your wrist and make sure it was the good size?
Yeah,
I want
we have
that job.
We have a scientist that go. We go into this. We go into this full speed. We know what we're doing.
No, you should have created that a job. I need these in every cup size possible to see which is the perfect fit for the average wrist. When that becomes a job, I would like to apply, please.
I remember seeing one of these things like 20 years ago. It feels like just anime versions, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And they're still around. I know some other comic people that have done them. I know Kara Nicole. They did these things for their book. You know, it's hysterical. I don't know why it's never come around into my brain to be like, dude, make this thing.
I never thought of it till just now. Like,
no, right?
Do that test in a heartbeat.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, oh my god, this is
all
brilliant.
boob.
There you go, the 3D.
Fantastic.
So the butt pad will be a technological leap forward.
Really changing the game up.
We just want to keep on advancing. We want to keep on advancing the science of general happiness.
Follow the science.
That's all they're doing, right? That's all it is.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank goodness they actually have like a strict template for certain shapes, so that way when you're designing it, like where everything's gonna end up.
Right.
And
Quote
there's
unquote every.
That was certainty, eh?
Well, I joined the scientists that developed the technology.
Perfect timing for April to pop in with that laugh.
April has to have one for her next like naughty month.
Oh, every show. I try to keep it contained. I really do.
With silly stuff like this, you cannot keep it contained. At least you know that there's a self-awareness that we know it's silly.
You have six.
But that's actually the sound chip that comes inside the mouse. That's the laugh that you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Excellent. Damn it.
You calling it quits, Ryan? Or are you still working?
No, if I do anything else to this, I'm just gonna overdo it. So yeah, I'm done. I got 20 minutes to spare.
That looks fantastic, dude.
Dude, excellent.
There we go. Zoom out a little bit for you. Boom.
Yeah, I really dig the seams on her costume. That's sweet. That's really cool.
Persuasion cosplaying as Nira, right?
All I'd have to do is like put some red, but she's not in this storyline. So no, it's just Nira X. That's it. No, yeah. No. I don't have cosplayers that look like that. That's what wigs are for, I guess.
Looking good.
Yeah, that's super cool.
CB getting close?
Yeah, I was just gonna sign off here on this.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we're all
signature
pretty much as we're getting to the end of the show.
We were actually
April, where are you at? You getting close?
I'm getting close, but I just broke my pencil. Wow.
Oh my god.
I know, it's like less than a half an inch. Well, it's probably about a half an inch long now, so it can't break anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to dig around and try to find another pencil. I started using brush extenders to maximize the length because, art supplies are expensive.
Oh, I've used those too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll use it down to the nub.
I know. I am well on my way. I've had to start putting like extra tape and stuff on there to help secure the wood.
I started collecting my nubs in a bottle, so that way I realized like, okay, this is how much. Okay, there's a shitload of IKEA pencils in there too, but I just can't help myself. When I go to IKEA, I'm gonna steal
like
3 pencils.
Steal stuff. Yeah,
that's a good bourbon whiskey.
I want to remember the experience. Yeah, it's actually nice because when I pop the bottle open to throw another little nub in there, it's like, it's got a nice woodsy bourbon smell.
Got that bourbon smell to it. I'm game for that. I'd have to start drinking now. Thanks.
See what happens. Yeah, keep the bottle above my.
Say is whiskey, and I'm in.
So, Bill, you doing any cons this year? Are you getting out on the road at all?
Yeah, actually am. Let me pull up my my little list here. I'll let you know where I'm gonna be. Let's see here. And plus, I post this stuff on my my webpage if people are watching this later. Or
Yeah,
whatever like that.
give
It's
everybody
just,
your socials, your Twitter and your Instagram and whatever as well. Yeah.
yeah. If they go to just billmouse.com, there's links there for everything. It makes it easy to. That's more of a hub than an actual full-fledged website. So there's a link there for the Kickstarter campaign. There's links there for my Facebook pages, Instagram, all that good stuff. Looks like the next show I'm going to be at is going to be Tidewater Comic Con here in Virginia Beach. That's going to be in May 14th and 15th. And I've got like 3 other shows that we're actually confirmed for. And then we got a few shows that we can't register for yet because it's a little too early. But Fredericksburg Comic and Toy Show, July 16. San Diego Comic Con, July 20 through 24th. And then we'll be at Incredible Con in Charleston, South Carolina in September, on September 17th. So that's what we've got on the list so far.
Do you mostly just run the East Coast, or do you get into like C2E2 or any of those kind of places?
I try to do, like I was doing Wizard World Chicago for a bit. And I haven't actually done C2E2 yet, which is weird because all my friends, that's one of the primary ones that they always try to make it to.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping to start doing C2E2 as soon as I can add it to my list again. But primarily East Coast because I happen to live in Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's and that's basically like the lower right hand corner of Virginia, but it's almost on the North Carolina border. So if it's something I can drive to, that's always more attractive for me to just keep overhead down, and of course trying to be a guest and things like that. San Diego is really the only one on the West Coast that I end up doing, but I'm trying to fit in things like Emerald City, and so Tom, our publisher, is trying to drag me out. He lives up in Washington State, so he wants to get me up there for shows and kind of playing it by ear because I didn't know what the plague was going to do. I'm assuming things are going to start calming down a little bit, so hopefully that will be the continuing trend.
Yeah, C2E2 last year kind of surprised me. I was pretty sure it was going to tank, but it was pretty busy. I was only there for a day, but it definitely. I mean, at least in the context of their gigantic artist alley, it was full and busy, and people seemed the artists seemed to be like, yeah, this is working. So.
Yeah, I've been happily surprised with the shows that we've been doing because even if the shows are fairly small, they've been filled with people that actually collect artwork or collect comics. They're not there just for free posters and buttons. They're actually there to get a few things. So we've been doing really well. I've been very surprised too. But of course, being cooped up in the house for a couple of years, not being able to do these things, maybe it's like there's a renewed appreciation maybe for being able to do these things. You don't really take it for granted. It's like, oh man, it's like extra grateful. And plus I feel extra grateful just being able to get out there and do our thing too. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be,
You're going to be Tom.
I was thinking there was something in March, but there isn't. It's April. April 23rd and 24th. I'll be down at Suncoast Con in Florida. They invited me down, so that'll be fun. And actually, I'll be down there with Marissa and Mr. DeBalfo. Are you going there too, April?
I am.
Suncoast. So yeah, so we'll have like almost the whole Sunday Sketching crew, except for Ryan, who's ditching out on us to stay home.
Well, yeah.
He's got his local con there. Planet Comic Con is same weekend. So.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I actually got an invite here to go do Free Comic Book Day in Detroit. So I'll be doing that again. And then in June, I'll be at the New York Oz Stravaganza, the Oz show that invites me out. And then C2E2 is August this year.
Oh, gotcha.
Have they-
And I just
have
heard
they
that they
rolled over
opened up
their-
their registration. So
Oh,
if C2E2 is
really?
something you want to do, I understand that they have opened it up now.
Excellent.
Okay,
I've been
cool.
waiting.
Yeah. So might end up at C2E2 this year. Not sure.
Comic Palooza just sent me the table selection process, so they've started doing it too.
Yeah, it's exciting being able to get out there and do our things again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm glad that all the live streams and this type of interaction kind of like it got kickstarted. I said Kickstarter. It got started, I think, a little bit more quicker or faster, or maybe got a little kick in the pants because of the plague. You know,
Sure. 100%.
I think it's something. I think it's something we would have eventually evolved into, regardless, just because of look, it just works and it clicks, and this is great, right? So, being able to interact like this, and we all live in different places, but we can make the world really small by hanging out. I feel like you guys are in my studio. It's like we're just chilling. So this is, but I think this is something that we'll actually keep on doing as shows come back. Regarding this. As shows come back, I was sort of afraid that like all these other things, all these other tricks that we've actually learned along the way, that they would go away. But I think it's something that we're definitely going to keep.
I've seen a lot of stuff that started in 2020 disappear. There are people that used to do shows all the time that stuff is gone. There's definitely a lack of it. I mean, even one of the shows that I used to do, I don't do anymore, but that was because one of our buddies that did the show with us got COVID and cancer at the same time. Shout out to David Fott, who is still recovering from all of that. So that wasn't so much an abandonment because we didn't want to do it. It was just sort of forced. But I've seen a lot of shows that were happening that just aren't, or are very, very sporadic. And I've seen a lot of artists that are just like, yeah, but cons are back now, so I don't really need it. And I'm like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You gotta stay with this. And now you got the advent of like Whatnot. I know Ryan's on Whatnot, doing sales and stuff. It's all out there, but there's so many artists that are afraid to get on camera and talk. And I'm like, it's just like you're at Artist Alley, man. You're just talking to potentially more people at the same time.
That's true.
So, I try and coach a little bit. Like I'm terrible. Like I hate being on camera, and I hate, I used to do interviews and I'd be like, I don't want to can you just like write this down? I don't want to be on camera. But I learned, over time, I learned how to do it, and it's doesn't scare me in the least now to be on camera, to do a live show, to even host a live show. I mean, that's something that I would never have dreamed about doing. And now I do. So it's just a learned thing.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
Albert, thanks for chilling with us. As usual, guys, this stuff does go up for sale. So if you are interested, give CB a ring. Let him know you want that Nira X. We know Mr. Kincaid hoards these things for a while, so you might not get a chance to get this one.
Not all of them.
Like I just saw you sold your Critter one today.
I did.
Yeah, and that was from a few weeks ago. And then actually Marissa sold her Critter one today too. She was at Swornfest and she took the Critter vampire that she did, and Shawnee bought that out at Swornfest. So so she sold hers today. And of course we've got April. April sells hers all the time.
Yeah, it is available if anybody wants it.
There
45
you go.
Shipping included.
And as far as Bill goes, you're going to have to jump on and do a commission for a sketch cover, or a commission through the campaign. You can do that. Both of those types of pieces are available. So if you want some Bill Mouse art, you can do it that way too. Because I'm assuming these things are gone, right?
These are actually the only two pieces that are finished that are actually still available.
Okay, well there you go.
If you wanted to message me for one of these variant covers, then please feel free to do so. That'd be awesome.
There you are, guys. Bill Mouse art ready for you to take home. We got a few minutes, but I think we're basically done. Anybody need to do any shout outs while we're here of what you're up to, what you're doing next, what's coming?
Everything.
I'm doing all the things.
When is Con Artists dropping, Ryan?
Con Artist is dropping at the end of March.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but I know I've built it all. Everything's ready to go. So we'll announce a date here pretty quick. You're gonna
Okay.
get it approved, obviously.
CB, you and I will be announcing our Bad Kitty stuff as soon as Dynamite announces it. But
Correct.
do you have anything you got going on that you want to look ahead for everybody?
I got a bunch of covers I've just been working on. I just did it. I don't know. I guess I can say it because it's not going to be a surprise when it happens. But I got a cover I'm doing for Primal. One I'm doing for Lady Ragnarok. Trying to think of who else. My gosh. Anything that Louis Torres. I have a couple covers that are available for his VR XOXO campaign, which is going on right now. Is for me. Gosh, I'll probably start work on. I got like 3 things I'm juggling right now, my own. The trade paperback for Into the Suck. Probably starting Black Rabbit 2 very soon, and and Might 2 is kind of well underway. It's completely drawn and written, so yeah, I'm juggling all that. And then Goth Day. I mean, we'll throw that in too.
And Goth Day, yeah, Goth Day, May 22nd. Goth Day's back. You guys are gonna freak out. And April, what are you up to?
I'm trying to finish up a sketch card set called Light Dark, and then after that, I'm working on a sequential art story for Babe Score and Dinosaur anthology, and I don't know. I got like 4 other covers I need to work on. I mean, it's
I don't
not
know.
overwhelming.
I
It's fine. It's fine. It's really fun stuff. It's just I gotta get the sketch card set out of the way. That's just supposed to be quick money, but then I get sidetracked. Because then I'm like, ooh, it needs more glitter.
Glitter. Must have
Ah,
glitter.
it's perfect.
Must have the
that
glitter.
reminds me.
By the way, April, C2E2 is open for application. I just looked. They don't ever announce
And,
that stuff.
Now
So
it's done.
we'll
Now
be
it's
launching Ursa Minor April 2nd. We'll be doing Goth Day May 22nd. Ursa Minor Part 2 will be in July. Ursa Minor Part 3 will be in October. And then November will be the Return of Princesses versus Zombies with a mini story in November for Princess Day. And then we're also going to have just a little mini story for camp crossover that we'll be doing some summer camp variants, starting with Marissa Pope. That'll be starting in April. So you guys can keep your eyes open for all of that good stuff. I think that's it, Bill. Anything you need to tell them as we wrap up?
No, well, hey, I just wanted to say thank you, Tom, for inviting me. Thank you guys for actually drawing Nira X right before my very eyes. Really cool hanging out with you guys, and big thank you to everybody who's actually out there supporting the Kickstarter. It's doing fantastic. I hope that hope everybody else can jump on who can jump on and be part of Nira X's journey. And thanks for letting me have a job.
Yeah, 11 days to go, getting close to 300 backers. Everybody jump on, grab some Nira X. You've got some time, but do it now while you're thinking about it. Make it happen. Guys, we'll be back next Sunday. As usual, I have no idea who will be here, but as soon as we find out, we'll let you know, and we'll keep this train rolling. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.